WFIE-TV Channel 14. Complete news, weather, and sports for the Tri-State. From WFIE-TV, this is Newswatch.
A path of destruction in the small town of Allendale, Illinois. A tornado Saturday night leveled more than a third of the town's buildings and injured 50 people. The governor will declare Allendale a disaster area. Good evening, I'm Rick Nodder. Tornadoes aren't supposed to strike in January, but last night an unusual weather system spawned twisters that hopscotched their way across southern Illinois and Indiana. Tornadoes touched down in Mill Shoals, Albion, and later struck Vincennes, Indiana, there destroying 2 homes and injuring 3 people. But hardest hit was Allendale. 53 homes and 9 businesses destroyed, 58 others damaged. The town post office, fire station, city hall, and school all destroyed. For the 600 residents, it was a night they will not soon forget. Kelly Jacobs begins our reports.
When you see the destruction, you will wonder how we could have survived this without fatalities.
With little to no warning, this quiet southern Illinois community turned into utter chaos.
I told my husband, I said, you know how they say it sounds like a train going through when there's a tornado? I said, that's what it sounds like to me. I said, I'm going to the basement, and he followed right behind me. We no more got in the corner of the basement until it hit.
Families were getting ready to sit down for dinner when an unseasonably strong tornado swept through. In seconds, homes were destroyed and trees uprooted. Amazingly, no one was killed. Only 5 people critically injured. Residents say it's a miracle they all survived.
Like I told the kids after it was over, I said, we're alive. That's what counts. We're alive.
Go ahead, ball glove. Ball feet about down.
I was sitting right here where this chat driveway was in my car, and I just turned off the car, and it hit, and it just took the car. I mean, you can see where it took it. And I just sat in it, and the car just rocked, and it rolled, and I sat there and started trying to get out, and I just kicked and kicked and kicked on the door and finally got out. And there were other people out running around screaming, and we got over into some neighbor's basement, and we're all alive. The Lord was with us. I mean, that's all I can say. I mean, this stuff doesn't mean anything because we're all alive, and that's all that matters.
The tornado swept through the southeast portion of town. It demolished about 50 homes, the Allendale grade school, and a quarter of the community's downtown. Despite the millions of dollars in damage and loss of valued possessions, residents are pulling together to salvage what the tornado left behind. When Illinois Governor Jim Thompson heard of the destruction, he declared Allendale a disaster area. And today he came to view the rubble for himself.
From the air, it really looks devastated, and it looks like most of the community's vital facilities have been wiped out, just wiped out.
It'll be days before all of this debris can be cleared away, and probably years before Allendale, Illinois can be rebuilt. But Mayor Loeffler and area residents are determined the city will be rebuilt someday. In Allendale, Illinois, Kelly Jacobs, Newswatch 14.
Allendale remains closed tonight to everyone except emergency workers. National Guard troops and Illinois State Police continue to patrol the streets looking for looters. Officials say they'll arrest anyone not authorized to be in the town overnight. Residents can return tomorrow morning starting at 7 a.m. They will need yellow passes to get in. The passes are available at a command post at Highway 1 and Main Street. That's the only official entrance into town. Today, many residents salvaged what belongings they could, but for some, that wasn't much. Chris Turner reports on what help is available for them.
I grabbed a light in my purse and my husband, and we sat right there on that step, and the house.
Now we're just sifting through, trying to find things that are still intact.
I don't think they found the photograph out for your wedding album yet.
Oh.
Oh, well, as long as we don't have to go through that again just to take pictures.
Brian Leffler and his friends were able to make a light moment out of their cleanup. They found several odds and ends.
It used to be my favorite jacket.
And they found Michelle Leffler's prized crystal and her silver bell. But that's about all. The rest of the Leffler's belongings are shredded and splintered.
As soon as you find out after a few days if they're going to need some things, just let me know. We have a canteen.
The Salvation Army's one group helping storm victims.
There's coats that are going to be needed. There's blankets, things in this regard. Shoes galore. Most of the people lost their shoes.
The Salvation Army is also providing food for relief workers. REACT and Red Cross volunteers are doing much the same work.
We can help with some repair of their homes. We can provide temporary housing for people whose homes have been destroyed.
Most Allendale residents will spend the night with family or friends, although a few will take advantage of community shelters. The 3 shelters opened Saturday night have dwindled to 1. The senior center at St. Francisville is available for those without a place to sleep.
And we haven't had really time to think about it. It happened so fast.
From Allendale, Illinois, Chris Turner, Newswatch 14.
If you would like to help the residents of Allendale, Mill Shoals, Albion, or Vincennes, contact the Red Cross or Salvation Army at these numbers. At Evansville, call the Red Cross at 425-3341, the Salvation Army at 425-1375. In Vincennes, call 882-6933 for the Salvation Army, 882-2204 for the Red Cross. They need donations of shoes, winter coats, and undergarments. The relief effort is likely to last several weeks. Well, the question remains, how could a tornado of this magnitude strike in the middle of winter? Well, it took some very unusual conditions, which weatherman Jeff Lyons explains.
Severe thunderstorms and tornadoes are not common in January in the tri-state, but then Saturday was not an ordinary day weather-wise. The temperature at Dress Regional Airport soared to 67 degrees to break an 82-year-old record. By early afternoon, a tornado watch was issued for a large part of the tri-state. Then, as warm air surging in from the south became unstable, all that was needed was a trigger to set off severe weather. That trigger was a cold front, which brought much cooler and drier air down from the north. This clash of the moisture-laden air from the south and the invading cooler air from the north sparked severe thunderstorms in southern Illinois. Shortly after 5 o'clock, the growth of storms is evident on this Doppler radar sequence. Tornadoes cut through Allendale and moved into Vincennes and Lagodi. Less than an hour later, the storms quickly lose their strength as the cold, dry air then begins to dominate the region. While Saturday's storms came as a surprise to most people, there are some warning signs to watch for when bad weather approaches. If the air feels too heavier, you notice a lot of humidity for the time of the year. That may be a sign that severe weather is possible. Also, you may experience headaches or other body aches as the barometric pressure begins to fall. And finally, abnormally warm temperatures, like Saturday's, can foretell the possibility of severe weather. When you notice these natural warning signs, then it's time to monitor television and radio for severe weather updates. Jeff Lyons, Newswatch 14.
Well, there was other news today, including another plane crash in Great Britain. We'll have that story and more next as Newswatch continues.
Complete news, weather, and sports for the tri-state. From WFIE-TV, this is Newswatch.
It's Allendale, Illinois, a twisted mass of wood and steel after a tornado cut a path of destruction there Saturday. Today, Illinois Governor Jim Thompson declared 4 southeastern Illinois counties disaster areas. That means residents can apply for property tax reassessment and federal assistance. They'll need it. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ann Comis. Mike Blake is on assignment tonight. Welcome to Newswatch at 5. Allendale, Illinois was the hardest hit community. National Guardsmen now stand watch as residents, homeless, try to put the pieces back together again. Rick Notter is on the scene of Allendale, and he begins our reports tonight. Rick?
Well, Ann, Allendale, Illinois is officially closed tonight after a second full day of cleaning up and trying to assess the damage that took place here Saturday night. In all, as of right now, 52 homes destroyed, 23 with major damage, 36 with minor damage to report. 21 people remain hospitalized tonight, only one in serious condition. That is the good news so far, that no one was very seriously or critically hurt, and no one has died as a result of this tornado. Now, Congressman Terry Bruce was here today to help assess the damage, as was a professional damage assessment team, to determine what can be done for the local residents in terms of helping them rebuild. Chris Turner has that story.
In the shelves, I can see my clock on the wall.
The second full day of cleanup found Allendale residents picking through the rubble. These women salvaged books and desks and anything else intact from the Ruritan building. Local kindergarten held class there.
All my teaching supplies are here, so I'm just trying to get together a program again for the kids and get some of their supplies out.
The Ruritan Club, City Hall, and the town's old school are among the first structures National Guard crews will demolish this week.
Gee whiz, you set mobile home around the pole, John?
A Guard General accompanied Congressman Terry Bruce on a walking tour with federal disaster officials. The Federal Emergency Management Agency has crews who will count
the cost of removing all this debris that you see, the cost of all the emergency measures, all the state police overtime, regular time, police and fire overtime, the security costs, the damage to the roads and streets, the damages to the public buildings minus insurance.
They are going to explain exactly the federal programs that are available, take a look at the assistance that they can provide, what needs to be done, the cost estimates.
For the third night, Allendale's closed to everyone except residents whose houses are still livable. Everyone needs passes to get in during the day and securities to remain tight all week. From Allendale, Illinois, Chris Turner, Newswatch 14.
Now, a shelter has been set up for the homeless families in St. Francisville, Illinois, at the Emmanuel Tabernacle Fellowship Choir. The Red Cross has set up that shelter to offer any assistance to any of the people displaced by the tornado. Now, if you would like to help some of the residents, you can go to this shelter or contact the shelter through the Evansville Red Cross at 425-3341. or by calling the Evansville Salvation Army at 425-7281. They have been a great help to people up here. Also, at the very least, the Red Cross says that they need blood because there has been a drain from this emergency up here, and the very least anyone can do is go to their local Red Cross and to donate blood. Now, at the command center here in Allendale, police have compiled a list of volunteers wishing to offer services to families to help them in cleaning up and also rebuilding. So that list is here available for the residents, and also anyone that would like to volunteer can contact the state police here. Now, today, crews were cleaning up the debris, and to inform us more about that, Kelly Jacobs is with us now. Kelly?
Rick, in the past 2 days, Allendale residents have been sifting through the remains, picking up the pieces, just trying to salvage whatever possessions that they can find that the tornado left behind. But the main concern here in Allendale right now is cleaning the debris for many reasons, mainly health and safety reasons. The National Guard has brought heavy construction equipment into Allendale to assist in the cleanup effort, and many area residents are volunteering their services also. Randy Grounds, the Wabash County Sheriff, is with us right now. Why don't you give me an update on the cleanup effort? What is going on right now? I see they're burning in many areas, and you do have a lot of equipment.
Yes, we have 3 burning areas that the National Guard and volunteers are using to get rid of some of the debris, such as trees and limbs that they've taken out of the streets today. We made considerable headway today with our volunteer effort of cleaning up. Right now, the cleanup has ceased. The community has been shut back down. The Guard's going to take a break, get a little bit to eat, and then they're going to resume work tonight. We had so much trouble with traffic, people in it getting their personal belongings, and there was a little bit of congestion, so the Guard felt that they could get quite a bit accomplished by going ahead and working tonight until about 9 o'clock.
There is still quite a bit of work to be done, and I know you've thought of several options of what you will do next. Can you tell me what those options are?
Well, our biggest concern is to get this place cleaned up. There's debris all over, and we would like to encourage citizens that had damage, their homes were demolished, destroyed, to get their belongings as quickly as they can. We would like to get as much cleaned up while we have a large amount of volunteers